Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
Or Rhino.
This figure is nice and large. You know, I felt like some of the figures we talked about were slightly small, but I mean, Kraven was a bigger figure, and yet he pales next to Rhino.
Yeah, he's Hulk size, if not bigger.
I actually thought he would be a little heavier, too. I was surprised when I picked him up that he was as light as he was, but I guess he would, like, crush the package if he was as heavy as I thought he would be when I picked him up.
Yeah, I mean, he's about as heavy as Hulk or, you know, the Thanos Build-A-Figure.
But I think if there's reused parts, they redid them, because his cracked body that represents his Rhino suit, I mean, it's got a texture on it unlike any figure I've seen before, even though the muscles and proportions do remind me a lot of Hulk.
Yeah, I don't think there are any reused parts here for a couple of reasons, because the torso, like you're saying, has those cracks in it, and you look around his back and he even has some kind of the Rhino warts going on, and it's kind of got that Rhino back armor built in. And usually necks do not go on like this. They don't go into the body usually. The neck usually comes up off of the body and the head goes onto the neck post. So I think this is pretty much 100% sculpted new to be Rhino.
I think they did a really good job on, like, the Rhino skin. I've never touched a Rhino before in my life, but this is what I imagine they feel like. Maybe a little, like, softer, but, you know, it's not just, like, plain plastic. It actually has texture to it, and it looks a lot like elephant skin. And I think that's good. And he's pretty basic other than that. He just has this crazy head and his normal head. But he's pretty basic. He's all one color except for his face.
What's funny is I consider the normal head to be more comic accurate. It's how I think of Rhino when I was reading the old Deadly Foes of Spider-Man or something. But I just love crazy head. It's just like so out there that that's the head I want to display.
It is totally cool.
You're most the way to building another version. This whole line was weird with the way they put the Build-A-Figure parts in there, but...
You're right, I've already got a spare arm, and now a double head. All I need is 2 legs and an arm, and I'm done.
I'm digging the articulation they've given him. Like, they went, you know, the distance and gave him, like, a swivel joint right at his bicep, and it's a nice ball-jointed thing. The armor plate on his shoulder kind of inhibits that a little bit, but it's there. He's got double-hinged elbows, or is that just a single hinge? No, that's just a single hinge, but you get a pretty decent bend out of it. You've got the well-articulated wrists and the ball socket hips. His knees are a little bit...
They were tight. I was trying to get him into a running Rhino pose, like he was going to crash through a wall, and they were really hard to bend at first.
Yeah, and then when you do get them bent, it's just a big, ugly joint. They didn't do a double hinge with the floating knee or anything there. It just kind of looks like you broke his leg.
I love his toenails. I just love the toenails. They're textured. They feel different. And I'm iffy on the shoulder pads. They kind of pop out on his left arm, and I'm not a fan of when they do this Michael Jackson-like epaulets as part of armor.
I mean, it's very consistent for Rhino. It just, where it bothers me is how it inhibits the movement.
I have no problem with it on the large figure because everything about this figure I feel is like large and in charge and overdone.
He is pretty badass. They gave him a little bit of I almost want to say it's a brownish green wash over the entire thing to kind of give him that leathery skin you were talking about, Marjorie. One thing they didn't really continue throughout, though, like if you look at his torso, Arnie, you were talking about earlier how you can see like cracks and all that, like a Rhino skin would have, but they didn't really continue that onto his arms and legs. It's there a little bit, but it's not consistent.
Yeah, it's like it has the nucleus in the abs and then it lessens as it goes outward. Still, though, I mean, a big, beefy figure, decent articulation, and let's put him next to a Chameleon here. Chameleon comes up to just slightly above the middle of Rhino's chest. Rhino's a good 2 heads taller.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like triple the width.
Yeah. That's a neat shot, though, right there. I mean, nice comparison.
This is what a Build-A-Figure needs to be. You know, a bigger figure that But like, I don't even think he would fit into a standard box for Marvel Legends. Well, I suppose if they've shoved Hulk into that size before, they could get Rhino in there, but he would take up the entire space.
Yeah, he is really cool.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.